This girl is obviously an heiress from a wealthy family, yet she survives by scavenging for recyclables. She is up. Losing her parents early made her the heir to the corporation, but she lost both her mom and dad. The only thing she wishes for is a different way of life. She moved into a rented house on her own. With expensive utilities and rent, she dared not turn on the lights at home, washed clothes by hand, and never stopped folding envelopes. Every day, she sat folding envelopes at her desk, which made the 3 arrogant classmates dislike her even more. Just as she was folding envelopes, Kim Moria, the leader of those 3, pushed the pile off her desk. Smirking as she said sorry, Ozami knew Kim Moria did it on purpose, but understanding that time is money, she completely ignored it. After Kim Moria's group left, Ozami quietly picked up every fallen envelope, sat back down, put on music with her earbuds, and resumed folding with renewed energy. After school, to save money, Ozami went to Sun's supermarket, drawn by a 10% discount on frozen foods. Seeing only 1 bag of frozen dumplings left, she snatched it up faster than Kim Seo-jun, who was also reaching for it. She grabbed the bag and ran, successfully buying the discounted dumplings without realizing she had just competed with her desk mate. But just buying discounted items was not enough for her. Back home, she divided the dumplings into 10 portions and stored them in the fridge for important days. The next day at school, Ozami sat folding envelopes as usual, while Kim Seo-jun looked at her, silently confirming she was the one who took the dumplings before Kim Seo-jun could say anything. His friend called him off to play basketball. After school, Ozami went to the bathroom and unexpectedly bumped into those 3 again, hanging out there. Faced with their harsh words, she pretended not to notice, which angered them so much they dumped a bucket of water over her. Soaked like a drenched rat, Ozami felt lucky the folded envelopes were not ruined. But drying her hair made her miss the supermarket discount hours. When she ran over, she saw Kim Seo-jun holding a carton of eggs priced at 3 coins, which should have been hers. To get revenge, Ozami took the chance when Kim Moria left alone with a stomachache to splash water on her. After that, Ozami smiled with satisfaction, thinking she had waited weeks for this discount event, and Kim Moria had just ruined it. The bathroom was empty at the time, so Ozami was sure no one knew she was behind it. That day, as usual, Ozami woke up and met Kim Seo-jun on the way home. They both received flyers advertising the supermarket. The supermarket was running a buy one get one free offer, and Ozami was thrilled, especially since she just got paid for her part-time job and was already planning how to treat herself. But the next second, Ozami froze. Her paycheck was stolen. Her eyes glazed over, her head fuzzy, and she even entered the wrong house password twice. At midnight, Ozami lay in tears, deciding to take on more part-time jobs to keep living. If she could not afford meals, she would eat free leftovers from the cafeteria. Her envelope folding speed increased dramatically, but the intense workload made her pass out from exhaustion. Unexpectedly, Kim Moria took advantage and drew graffiti all over Ozami's face, shamelessly writing Kim Moria's name. Kim Seo-jun's friend witnessed the whole thing. Ozami had no idea, but Ryu-chan took photos and showed them to her as a warning. Ozami hurried downstairs to wash off the drawings, convinced Kim Moria had found out about the water splash and was retaliating. Ryu-chan followed her and said water alone would not clean it, kindly offering her some sunscreen cream to use. After washing up, Ryu-chan watched her a moment and suddenly complimented Ozami's beauty, making her blush. Before Ozami could respond, Ryu-chan was called away by Kim Seo-jun and forgot the sunscreen cream behind. Looking at the sunscreen left behind, Ozami thought to herself that Ryu-chan must be a good person. At lunchtime, the teacher suddenly told Ozami's class to clean the lab. While everyone was annoyed, Kim Moria said they did not need to bother with the lab, and Ozami said she could handle it alone. Even though everyone knew Ozami was not serious, they all left, leaving her alone in the empty lab. Suddenly, a coin on the corner of the table caught her attention. As she bent down to pick up the coin, she suddenly heard someone enter. From the voice, it was a female student pulling Ryu-chan inside. That girl unexpectedly wanted to confess her feelings to Ryu-chan. Curious about how Ryu-chan would respond, Ozami overheard him say he was not interested in girls. Hearing that, the girl felt insulted and angrily walked away. Stunned by Ryu-chan's answer, Ozami accidentally dropped the coin on the floor. The sound of the coin falling caught Ryu-chan's attention. Caught, Ozami stood up to apologize and took the chance to return the sunscreen bottle to him. At first, Ozami thought Ryu-chan was a really nice guy, but what just happened made her feel he acted terribly, and she told him so directly. To her surprise, Ryu-chan said everything he said was the truth. Ozami asked him what truth, wondering if he really liked boys. Ryu-chan's confirmation rang in her ears. Shocked, Ozami turned around and saw Ryu-chan firmly say he truly liked boys. Ozami was scared once again. She found it strange that Ryu-chan would share that so easily with her, even though they were not close. But Ryu-chan said he really liked Ozami and wanted to be friends. Ozami had always believed that friends were an essential part of life. That afternoon, while folding envelopes, Ozami's mind still wandered back to what happened in the lab. Distracted, she accidentally dropped the tape roll onto her desk mate Kim Seol-yoon. Kim Seol-yoon glanced over, and Ozami quickly apologized, saying it was unintentional. Before Ozami could finish apologizing, Kim Seol-yoon stood up and walked over to her desk, but Kim Seol-yoon did nothing but place the tape roll on her desk, and then left the classroom. Ozami expected him to be angry, but he was not the guy, did not seem like the type to get upset easily. After class, her workplace, knowing she would been robbed, kindly advanced her the wages. Remembering her last experience, Ozami immediately hid the money inside her shirt, then finally headed to the supermarket. Once there, Ozami's eyes lit up as she saw signs everywhere announcing buy one get one free deals. The frugal Ozami quickly calculated that if she teamed up with someone else as order, they could split the cost in half. The challenge was finding someone willing to share an order with her. Watching around the supermarket, Ozami spotted Kim Seol-yoon near the shelves and quietly followed him. Seeing he was holding exactly what she wanted, Ozami hesitated how to approach when suddenly a kid ran into her, knocking several bottles on the shelf over, nearly causing them to fall. Just then, Kim Seol-yoon caught the bottles, looked at Ozami, and asked if she had something to say. Ozami, suspecting he knew she was following him, thought for a moment, then said if they combined their orders, the total would be half price and the brave one gets the first pick. Satisfied holding her prize, Ozami watched Kim Seol-yoon walk ahead and silently gave him a thumbs up. As Ozami neared her house, she heard footsteps behind her and thought it might be someone sent by her family to find her. She quickly grabbed the onion in her leather bag, but when she turned around, it was not her family, it was Ryu-chan. Onion slipped from Ozami's hand and fell to the ground. Ryu-chan casually picked up the onion, happily saying he did not expect Ozami to live here too, and that his house was right across the street. Busy with work, Ozami had not realized they lived so close to each other. Back home, looking at the cheap groceries she bought, Ozami felt incredibly happy, but her family worried about her living conditions, thinking her quality of life had been declining, so they quietly prepared a special unlimited Korean BBQ meal for her at school. At lunchtime, all the students gathered around the unlimited Korean BBQ advertisement, chatting excitedly. Standing behind the crowd, Ozami saw the Korean BBQ belonged to her family's company and immediately understood it was their doing. Even though she had not had Korean BBQ in a long time, Ozami pretended she did not know. While enjoying the long-missed Korean BBQ, Ozami let out a satisfied burp. On the way back to class, Ozami ran into Kim Seol-yoon, the guy who had shared the order with her the day before. To thank him, Ozami politely opened the door and let Kim Seol-yoon go ahead. That very action got both of them caught by the teacher and sent to clean books in the library. After being assigned, the two of them got ready to start working. Just as Kim Seol-yoon opened her pen cap, she looked up and saw Ozami crawling under the table, and her pen case slipped from her hand and rolled right into it. When she picked up the pen, Ozami's hair was covered in dust, so Kim Seol-yoon naturally reached out to brush the dust off her hair. On the way home after class, Ryu-chan kept asking Kim Seol-yoon about where he had been at lunch. Kim Seol-yoon then revealed that he was with Ozami in the library. While the two were chatting, someone cycling too fast from behind crashed into Ryu-chan. Before Ryu-chan fell, Kim Seol-yoon quickly caught him. The bottle of juice in Ryu-chan's hand was also caught perfectly by Ozami nearby. Watching it all, Ozami said nothing, just reminded them to be careful on the road, then went back to sipping her juice. After finishing her drink, Ozami went to exchange potatoes at the running reward point, since cooking and freezing potatoes lets her stockpile food supplies. After those tasks, Ozami started doing laundry, but the earlier scene flashed through her mind, like she would realize something, and she sat up straight. The next day, Ozami saw Ryu-chan receiving a bracelet from another female student. When the girl noticed Ozami, she even invited her over to chat, but Ozami just greeted briefly and left right away, leaving Ryu-chan confused about what was going on with her. The teacher had handed out convenience store coupons to Ozami and Kim Seol-yoon yesterday, making Ozami feel like she would gotten a good deal. On the way back to class, Ozami stared blankly at Kim Seol-yoon beside her. Suddenly, Kim Seol-yoon called her name, saying her roll of tape had fallen into his bag. Startled, Ozami fumbled and dropped the tape Kim Seol-yoon handed her. As she bent down to pick it up, she heard Ryu-chan calling Kim Seol-yoon's name. At that moment, Ozami suddenly realized that Ryu-chan and Kim Seol-yoon were dating. Thinking that, she jumped up suddenly, accidentally bumping into Kim Seol-yoon's nose, causing it to bleed nonstop. After taking Kim Seol-yoon to the nurse office, Ozami stood outside the door blaming herself, regretting that her sudden panic had caused such trouble. After all, whatever the relationship between Ryu-chan and Kim Seol-yoon was, it had nothing to do with her. Seeing Ryu-chan come out, Ozami quickly asked about Kim Seol-yoon's condition, and breathed a sigh of relief when she heard he was okay. Then Ozami apologized to Ryu-chan, leaving him confused about why she was saying sorry. Ozami hesitated, about to say, "Aren't you two dating?" Ryu-chan caught the meaning in her words and laughed it off as just a misunderstanding, while Ozami was blaming herself for misunderstanding their relationship, just from one scene. Ryu-chan said Kim Seol-yoon was not like him, he only liked Kim Seol-yoon one-sidedly. Back at home, Ozami kept thinking about their situation. To stop her mind from racing, she decided to do housework to clear her head. Just sorting and throwing things away made her feel very satisfied. Just as Ozami was about to close the door, a small dog suddenly ran inside. Seeing the little white dog appear out of nowhere, Ozami was a bit flustered. Ryu-chan ran up from behind, panting, and explained to Ozami that the white dog belonged to him. To catch the dog, Ryu-chan and Ozami went inside, and after searching for a while, found it hiding in the bedroom. After apologizing, Ryu-chan found out Ozami lived alone. Ozami did not reply, making Ryu-chan realize he would said too much and apologize again. Only then did Ozami respond that her parents had passed away, so she lived alone. After Ryu-chan left, Ozami took the folded envelopes to her part-time job. Doing so many tasks made her yawn nonstop. She wondered if she was pushing herself too hard. Just then, Ozami got a message from her uncle, telling her to come home for the Memorial Day. She did not reply and silently put on her headphones. That action caused Ozami to get lost in her own world, ignoring the red light, almost crossing before the green light, when suddenly a hand grabbed her back. Seeing the car zoom past, Ozami turned to look at Kim Seol-jun, the one who saved her, and sat down trembling in fear. That made Ozami realize how dangerous it was to walk while listening to music. She thanked Kim Seol-jun, and the two stood together waiting for the green light. Kim Seol-jun casually asked her whose music she was listening to, and Ozami said it was Lee Si-won-won's. Kim Seol-jun did not respond, and Ozami figured he probably had never heard of that artist before. When he got home, Kim Seol-jun was reminded by his father that he had to visit his mother this weekend. Not wanting to go, Kim Seol-jun quietly sent a message declining the visit. Feeling heavy-hearted, he opened his phone to play Lee Si-won-won's music, found a song, and put on his headphones to listen. Meanwhile, Ozami got home and discovered her cassette tape was stuck and broken. She used a pen to carefully rewind the tape, but the stuck part still would not play. That cassette was a keepsake left by her mother, and being unable to preserve it made her feel even sadder. The next day, Kim Moria's hair clipper started smoking, probably broken. Ozami walked into class. Kim Moria pouted and grabbed Ozami's hair, trying to clip it with the hair clipper. Just then, Kim Seol-won came in from behind, making Kim Moria drop her grip in surprise. As the two sat down, Kim Moria's hair clipper exploded. Ozami glanced cautiously at Kim Seol-won, surprised that the quiet guy had just helped her. That weekend, Ozami used the miso paste and some greens from the shop where she worked part-time to make a pot of miso soup as a little treat for herself. But while rushing, she accidentally stepped on her own foot and spilled the soup all over her blanket. The hair clipper could not be eaten, and now she had to wash her feet using the washing machine that had never been used since she moved into her apartment. To make matters worse, the washing machine broke down. Without a blanket for the night, Ozami had no choice but to carry it to the laundry room. On the way, she unexpectedly ran into her uncle, who was looking for her. Reflexively, Ozami lifted the blanket over her head to hide. All of this was seen by Kim Seol-won, who had also come to the laundry room. Seeing how expensive the laundry was, Ozami hurriedly put on her shoes to pay. While waiting, she noticed the laundry room was playing Lee Si-won-won's music. Hearing the familiar tune, Ozami dozed off. When she woke up, the blanket was neatly folded on the table in front of her, and she received a message from her uncle. This time, he told her to return to her old life. She was already struggling, and now had to face stormy weather too. The next day, while Ozami was wondering why the memorial ceremony required so many preparations, she bumped into a classmate and her phone flew out of her hand. For someone who had nothing left, losing her phone was unacceptable. Just as she silently prayed, Ozami saw Kim Si-jun catch her phone perfectly, like catching a ball. Something she thought was lost forever was found again, making Ozami feel reborn. She gave Kim Si-jun an orange to thank him, but Kim Moria, already annoyed with Ozami, continued to pick a fight. The cassette tape that had been stuck before now made strange noises, so Ozami took it out to check, but Kim Moria snatched it from her hand. For the first time, Ozami got angry because of the cassette tape. Seeing Ozami's angry glare, Kim Moria seemed to find it amusing and pulled the cassette tape away roughly. Watching her ruin the cassette, Ozami angrily grabbed her collar and pushed her against the wall. Ozami stared intently at Kim Moria, who was stunned and unsure what Ozami intended. Before Ozami silently snatched back the cassette and returned to her seat, Kim Moria wanted to keep causing trouble. But the whole class finally could not stand it and all spoke up to stop her. The arguments around did not affect Ozami at all. At that moment, she just wanted to fix the cassette quickly, even though she carefully rewound the stretched tape. Some parts of the sound were still damaged, and Ozami sighed in frustration. On the way home, Ryu-chan happened to hear her sigh and asked what had happened. Ozami did not answer but instead asked why he was walking alone today. Ryu-chan said Kim Seo-yoon was made to clean the gym by a senior. While talking, Urchin saw Ozami put on gloves, ready to clean, and got curious about joining her. Ozami was about to decline when she heard someone call her name. It was her old friends from before because she left in a hurry and changed her phone number. They could not contact her. Seeing Ryu-chan beside her, they assumed he was her boyfriend, while Ozami completely ignored them, pretending not to know them and walked straight ahead. Ryu-chan silently followed. Unexpectedly, Ozami suddenly won a 5th-place prize, something she had never experienced before. Looking at the prize in front of her, Ozami was very pleased. She thinks that even if it were a heartthrob like Ryu-chan or Kim Seo-yoon, it still could not compare to this prize. A top-quality cooking oil set. Happy after receiving the prize, Ozami went to the supermarket to buy food for the memorial ceremony, and by chance, she found beef on sale for half price. While tasting the beef, Ozami picked up some for the ceremony, and Kim Seo-yoon also grabbed some beef for the ceremony. Seeing a long line ahead, Ozami took a deep breath and rolled up her sleeves. After much effort, she finally got a portion of beef. Everyone in the crowd was eager to snatch the discounted meat, trapping Ozami in the crowd, unable to move. When Kim Seo-yoon appeared just then, Ozami was a bit stunned. Kim Seo-yoon asked if she managed to get any beef. Talking about the beef, Ozami snapped back to reality and proudly held up her portion, showing she had gotten some. At checkout, Ozami realized she did not have enough money and was thinking about what to leave behind when Kim Seo-yoon kindly offered to cover the rest for her. Though Ozami refused, Kim Seo-yoon said to consider it a loan, and she could pay back when she had the money. Back home, looking at the groceries she bought today and then at her empty wallet and debts, Ozami was relieved that at least she did not have to pay rent yet. Suddenly, the lights in her room went out, but the other apartments were still lit. Ozami wondered why the power was cut even though she would pay the maintenance fee. Not understanding what was going on, she opened her door to find Ryu-chan outside. It turned out the building's power line had been cut off. But while they talked, the electricity was restored. Just then, Ryu-chan's mother came out to call him for dinner, and seeing Ozami, she invited her to eat with them. She curiously asked why Ozami was living alone and where her parents were. Ozami was about to answer when Ryu-chan stopped his mother from asking further. After a warm dinner, Ozami said goodbye to Ryu-chan's family and went home. The next day at school, it started raining, and Kim Moria forgot her umbrella. Feeling extremely unlucky, she saw a student ahead in school uniform and intended to ask for an umbrella, but it turned out to be Ozami. Realizing her mistake, Kim Moria did not dare to ask and tried to leave quietly, but Ozami pulled her back. Kim Moria struggled to free herself, but was surprised by Ozami's strength and could not escape. Ozami pulled Kim Moria under her umbrella, and together they walked to school. When they arrived, Kim Moria not only did not thank Ozami but also blamed her for acting on her own. Faced with the criticism, Ozami said nothing and just turned around to head straight to class. Today, Ozami folded the envelopes very quickly. Looking at the neatly stacked envelopes, she thought to herself that finally, she could properly prepare for the memorial ceremony. Behind her, Ryu-chan came looking for Kim Seo-jun and unexpectedly said he admired Ozami for being able to be Kim Seo-jun's desk mate. Ozami was confused because it was clearly Ryu-chan who was always by Kim Seo-jun's side. Yet he said that, hearing this, Ryu-chan felt quietly sad because even though he was next to Kim Seo-jun, he could not do what he truly wanted. Ryu-chan naturally stood out, making it hard for the class not to notice him. As the two talked, others started whispering, guessing what the relationship between him and Ozami was. Hearing those whispers, Ryu-chan took the initiative to say they were very close friends. Seeing Ryu-chan hide his hand behind his back, Ozami did not understand why he said that. After school, Kim Seo, returning from the supermarket with coffee, saw Ozami talking to a police officer about a robbery. Officer Tian asked when it happened, and Ozami said it was some time ago. Looking at Kim Seo-jun, Ozami held up 3 fingers to indicate she would pay back in 3 days. Kim Seo-jun was not in a hurry, but Ozami said she could not stand owing anyone. Kim Seo-jun said the amount was not much and she could pay back slowly, but Ozami felt she could only sleep well once it was fully paid. Seeing this, Kim Seol-jun agreed. Back home, Ozami started preparing items for the memorial ceremony, though the process was not smooth. The end result was fine. After setting everything on the table, Ozami bowed her head before the photo, then lay down in front of the altar until morning. Seeing the burnt-out incense and the bright sunlight, Ozami silently wished the morning would never come because she had not slept well the night before. Ozami just lay her head down on the desk during recess. In class, everyone was filling out the new library book loan form. When it was Ozami's turn, she looked up with dark circles under her eyes and a tired expression that startled Kim Seol-jun and the supervising teacher. Though they anxiously asked if she was okay, Ozami just wanted to sleep a little longer, but she was so sleepy that her head suddenly dropped right onto the desk. As she was about to doze off again, Kim Seol-jun quietly pulled up her uniform shirt over her desk. Watching Ozami sleep, Kim Seol-jun quietly turned back to his seat. To prepare for exams, Kim Seol-jun and Ryu-chan went to the library to study. Seeing Kim Seol-jun's draft, Ryu-chan gently dotted his pen like he was painting. Kim Seol-jun caught the movement out of the corner of his eye and grabbed Ryu-chan's hand right away. With their faces inches apart, Ryu-chan blushed, but Kim Seol-jun just took the pen from him. This happened because Kim Seol-jun remembered when Ozami got doodled on by Kim Moria and thought Ryu-chan might be trying to draw on him too. Ryu-chan hurried to explain that was not the case. So Kim Seol-jun asked what he was trying to do, but Ryu-chan could not answer. Seeing that reaction, Kim Seol-jun became even more sure he was right, and the two ended their study session on an unhappy note. On the weekend, Ozami went out to throw away garbage and ran into Kim Seol-jun. She quickly explained why she had not paid yet her part-time salary had been delayed. Kim Seol-jun said he was just there to see Ryu-chan, which made Ozami visibly relieved. Ryu-chan opened the door, surprised to see Kim Seol-jun show up unexpectedly. Kim Seol-jun simply said he missed Ryu-chan's little brother and his dog. Ryu-chan's brother and mother had gone to the supermarket and were not back yet, but Kim Seol-jun picked up the dog and said, "With you here." It turned out Kim Seol-jun came to apologize to Ryu-chan. After they finished eating instant noodles, Kim Seol-jun explained that seeing Ozami get doodled on so badly made him overact. Ryu-chan helplessly said he never intended to doodle on anyone. Just like that, they chatted back and forth and made up as before. After cleaning up the garbage, on the way home, they happened to run into Ozami, who was also out taking out the trash. Ryu-chan could not help but comment on how clumsy Ozami was, then accidentally blurted out that she lived alone. Kim Seol-jun found it strange and did not know how to ask why Ozami lived by herself. But just then Ryu-chan's mother arrived home, saving him from the awkward moment. On the way home, Kim Seol-jun suddenly saw Ozami rummaging through the trash bin. When he asked, Ozami said she was looking for a point collection coupon she had been saving since last year, but was not sure if she accidentally threw it away with the trash. While Ozami was trying to remember, Kim Seol-jun reached through her hair and pulled out the point coupon stuck in her hat. Seeing Kim Seol-jun holding the coupon, whether because of the sunlight or something else, Ozami suddenly felt like he was glowing. The joy of finding the coupon made Ozami believe Kim Seol-jun was truly a lucky boy. With the coupon in hand, Ozami immediately went to the supermarket to exchange it for toilet paper. As she was about to leave, she ran into her part-time job place with good news. The dumpling shop needed someone to cover a shift, and Ozami accepted right away. Thinking she would even get a free bag of dumplings, she enthusiastically greeted customers, only to have a little girl grab her shirt. Ozami handed the girl a dumpling, but the girl refused to take it. While they awkwardly looked at each other, Kim Moria ran over it. Turned out the girl was Kim Moria's younger sister. Even with her sister there, the girl would not let go of Ozami's shirt, so Kim Moria angrily took her sister away. After finishing her shift, thinking about the money she would soon get plus the bag of dumplings, Ozami felt like she would just become rich. On the way, she saw Kim Seol-jun standing in front of the pharmacy and wanted to thank him for helping find her point coupon by giving him a dumpling. As she ran up and called his name, Kim Seol-jun turned around, only to get hit right in the face by her bag of frozen dumplings. The dumplings were as hard as rocks, and the impact made Kim Seol-jun drop to his knees. Seeing this, Ozami panicked and grabbed her phone to call for help, but Kim Seol-jun just reached out, took the dumplings, and even smiled. That hit surprisingly eased the discomfort he would been feeling in his stomach. Taking the bag of dumplings, Kim Seol-jun said, "Let us count this bag towards what you owe me." Before Ozami could react, Kim Seol-jun walked off with the dumplings. The next day, Ozami brought money to pay Kim Seol-jun back, and as soon as she finished, she felt completely relieved. But just as she was about to return to class, the sole of her slipper suddenly tore off, and half the sole flew straight toward Kim Seol-jun's head. Luckily, he acted fast and caught them. Seeing the broken sandals that could not be fixed, Ozami felt really sad. Looking at her, Kim Seol-jun remembered his own sandals that had only been worn once, took them out, and gave them to her. Seeing Ozami's small feet in his sandals, Kim Seo-jun realized for the first time just how tiny the schoolgirl's feet really were. Back in class, Ozami continued handing out envelopes. But then a gust of wind blew the envelopes scattered across the table. She hurried to pick them up, but one envelope got caught by the wind and flew out the window onto a tree. To save her hard-earned money from being lost, Ozami stretched out to grab it, but because the sandals were too big and did not fit, she slipped and fell straight down. Just then, Kim Seo, who was with his seniors playing basketball, saw it happen and rushed over to catch her, causing them both to fall to the ground. Ozami could only apologize to Kim Seo-jun many times, but she was grateful he saved her from getting hurt. Once he was sure she was okay, Kim Seo-jun warned her to be careful before going back to basketball, but the envelopes in the classroom, left unorganized, were blown all over by the wind, and that night, Kim Seo-jun had a nightmare. The next morning at school, he kept staring at the sandals on Ozami's feet, and Ryuchan, seeing him, immediately noticed his dark circles. Ryuchan wondered how someone like Kim Seo-jun, who usually falls asleep so easily, could have had a nightmare. He did not dare tell anyone that he dreamed all night of Ozami running over his head in those giant sandals. Seeing him with a headache, Ryuchan patted his shoulder and said, "Then just lean on me and rest for a bit." But Kim Seo-jun turned Ryuchan around and leaned his back against him instead. Feeling Kim Seo-jun's warmth, Ryuchan felt really cozy. In class, Ozami dozed off while listening and nearly fell off her chair. When she snapped awake, she realized Kim Seo-jun was staring at her intently. This made her feel extremely uneasy. After school, as usual, she put on gloves and went out to pick up trash. Unexpectedly, someone spit gum on the ground. Ozami bent down to scrape it off and ended up witnessing Ryuchan being confessed to. Once again, he was rejected, and the other person angrily walked away. Seeing Ozami sneak a glance, Ryuchan sighed helplessly. "Even if I tell the truth, no one would believe me." Ozami just thought that Ryuchan was really popular. She suggested, "Why do not you try confessing to Kim Seo-jun instead?" Ryuchan immediately replied, "I would just get rejected." At the market, Ozami counted money, planning to buy rice. Looking up, she saw the company's lawyer. Worried, she turned and quickly left, fearing he was with her uncle. She was so nervous she did not dare move, just quietly trying to get away. Unexpectedly, she bumped into Kim Seo-jun, who was looking for his father. Seeing Ozami, Kim Seo-jun asked, "Can you still walk?" Ozami answered. Kim Seo-jun then reached out his hand for her to hold. "Let us." He glanced back at his father, who was trying to wave him over, but without saying a word, Kim Seo-jun pulled Ozami away from the market. Outside the market, Ozami let go of Kim Seo-jun's hand and angrily punched her own head hard, trying to snap herself back to focus. Kim Seo-jun raised his hand to stop her, and Ozami looked up at him. Surprised, he naturally put his hand over her head to shield her from the sun. Realizing his gesture was unusual, Ozami went to the hospital for a checkup, and the doctor told her she had anxiety disorder. Her extremely short sleep worried the doctor deeply. The doctor advised Ozami to get more sleep, but for her, that was a luxury. She took on so many part-time jobs that she often stayed up all night to finish them. Please subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out on exciting videos.